Hello and welcome to live stream program on South Sudan Media, broadcast live in central Cairo. And it's 5 minutes past 6 Middle East Main Time. I'm Benjamin Meyer, and we begin on international news. Russian President Vladimir Putin threatened the West and its allies to think twice if they continue to support Ukraine militarily. Meanwhile, the president read out a military warning on Tuesday on televised address on a state television in capital Moscow following the successful test of intercontinental ballistic missile. Could this be the beginning of the Third World War if this powerful nation on earth instigates nuclear attack on NATO territories? And in South Sudan, at least 32,167 senior 4 candidates started the first paper examination of secondary education. Minister of General Education, Honorable Minister Wundeng Aichwil, rang the bell on Tuesday to mark the successful and official commencement of the national examination. Until now, there is no rumors of attempted or alleged leakage of examination. And we go to live now to Alexandria University, of course, where we will be joined live by the president. But first, we have some latest question to be presented. Have you personally witnessed a good term or bad term administration from the current or incumbent president of the Students' Association? And what are the fundamental challenges dominantly faced by students in this bustling city? What kind of unity or disunity rather exists between the cabinet itself and the General Assembly? Well, now tonight my special guest is the president of South Sudanese Students in Alexandria University, Mr. Egack Miyom. Welcome to South Sudan Media. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate that I'm here tonight to speak to my beloved students in Egypt.
We are so honored. Welcome to South Sudan Media. Well, Mr. Egack, let's begin right away from the date of your arrival to the office. And of course, tell us from the same date, which time you took the oath of an office.
Actually, thank you once again. The race was a tough race, and I managed to surface and to be the president of Rosa in Alexandria. It was on 22nd of April 2021 that when the election were announced, the results were announced, and so I became the president.
Great. On 22nd April 2021, of course, we have the constitution in place, and this constitution tells us, of course, as you took the office, which seems to be yesterday, indeed, and as per now, you are still in office. Is this not the recorded systematic violation of the constitution of the students? You seem to cling to the powers you are supposed to be out.
Yeah, sure. Due to some challenges, we couldn't hold election, which supposed to be on Friday yesterday. But as for now, the EC is already in place and also doing their work, and the elections they are scheduled to be on 5th of May. But the debate is going to be on Thursday, on Tuesday, and then the election will be on 5th, which will be Thursday.
Great. I also learned, according to the intensive presidential competition, that you victoriously owned the election. You were having, of course, so many candidates contesting within the same presidency, in which one of them seems to be Mr. Mabor Abingo Makoy, Moses Reti, and Honorable Eric. How did you make it successfully to gain the victory in these people, among these people as well?
So it was a tough race. It was as tough race as I told you before, because we were 4 contesting for the same position as well. But as characters matters, of course, because leadership doesn't come immediately after you want to contest, no, but starts how you're being with your life. So my beloved student of Alexandria noticed that I was the best candidate amongst them, and so I was the one who was chosen, and I won. I really appreciate them, but it was not easy. But we managed with my team.
Great.
And I really thank.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, briefly let's come to the achievement on your term in office. So what have you done in your capacity as the president from the date of your coming to the office, and of course to the eyes of students in Alex and to the eyes of external watch class? What have you done?
Yeah, sure. Try my best to do what I had promised, except some few. If I can say at least 90% of what I had promised, I've done it. Number one, because most of us, because we take this leadership as a pride, but not as a pride, but doing the work to serve students. When I first came, of course, number one was Independence Day. Of course, we have never celebrated in Alexandria, and so I have promised them that when you guys elect me, I will be able to celebrate independence with us. And so South Sudan Media even was part of that. Really, we did
covering the program.
Yes, and we try our best that it happens. And then probably we went on about the collecting visas. We did visas. We tried our best to collect all the passports of those who are under scholarship. We bring them to Cairo to do the process for them, instead of students coming from Alexandria to come to Cairo, come and do the process.
All right. Let me interrupt you, Mr. President. You just brought in another topic of security concern,
yes,
in which you seem to be deeply involved in the visa facilitation process.
Yes.
So can you tell us, of course, how many people have you helped so far in this?
So far, we have done like 50 students. We did this. We collected all the passports, and then we presented them to Wafdin. We did the process, and then we took them back to Alex. In fact, so our year we have been serving students. Instead of students not serving us, we serve them.
But some students do complain in the group, South Sudan students on Telegram group. They are deeply just talking, disappointed about this process, and you claim now to be helping them. But the majority of them seems to be from your university. Why?
This sometimes because you don't please everyone. There are people who can still complain though you are doing something right. And so because they were trying that, because we told them that give us a little money for transportation. Of course, coming from Alexandria, that is 65 pounds from Alexandria to Cairo.
That is
then
one
back
way.
to Cairo. Back to Alex, that's 135.
Right.
Now, we asked them to give you 120 pounds so that we go and come back, so that this money can be used to support association.
All right, let's move next to another topic, of course. Let's talk about your unity itself in the cabinet of a student before we proceed to the student side of General Assembly. Within the cabinet, just in recent days, you sacked 4 members of your cabinet, including the finance secretary, Mr. Gatiek Stephen, from dentistry. What went wrong? Why do you sack your member, one of the cabinet while you are going from the office?
You see, because when I was taking the office, I told all my students that we are coming to serve you. If none of my cabinet is not active, he or she must go, because we are here to serve students. No one is here to be a boss. And so, from the three of them, the Deputy Secretary of Information, of course, he had some issues and he left the South Sudan, because you know that life is also very hard here in Egypt, so he left the South Sudan. The Secretary of External Affairs, of External Affairs, he has been in office, he has never attended a meeting. Now, who are you? You were chosen to come and serve us.
Yes.
But if you fail to attend a meeting, then we cannot work with you. You have to go. You have to remain as few we are, and then you go.
You mentioned, let me cut you short, based on my own critical identification of the names in South Sudan, Mr. Gatiak Stephen, Juma Friday, and Sabri have been released or sacked in the government led by Egack and Lual Mariam. Here there is undeniable evidence of discrimination in your cabinet, Mr. President, which you involved in student affairs. Why do you cause this? Why do you cause this unforgettable history in the student society?
No, we don't call it as discrimination, because that term, because I will not agree with that. But the Friday, the Vice President, he resigned. Because in the constitution, they say that if you want to contest, because he want to contest. So if you want to contest, you resign 1 month earlier, so that you can also contest for my position. Constitutional wise, it's the same thing. And Mr. Gatiak is a very good friend of mine, and he also knows him very well, because I met with him, because he had some agreement. He was in the government to one of executive. I sat down with him and I asked him, please, if you have disagreement, let us sit down with all our cabinets and agree on. If that person is the one who is wrong, I will tell that person that you are wrong. But if you are the one who is wrong, I will tell you that you are wrong, you have done something wrong. He seemed that he had agreed. When I left, he refused again. So what I did was, I told him, okay, if you don't want now to have a meeting with us, we write official document. Present it to us, yes, present to us that we shall propose it. Up to now, we did not bring it. And so, he's not working with us, and he has not written official statement that have resigned. So, what can we do now? Is to release him from the work.
Well, dear viewers of South Sudan Media, just as we continue with the program, let's go just for a short break, and which I'll be back in a minute. Welcome back from that chat break, dear viewers of South Sudan Media, and we continue with the program here as we are with the President of Alexandria University. Mr. President, you seem to be denying the fact which is on the ground, and as based on the information on the ground, we have Deng Attack who traveled to United States, New York, and of course this person you never released, and based on some individual conditions, so you released the person. How can you describe this not to be discrimination?
The issue of Deng Attack is because he was active with us. He was part of us, and the condition that took him there, he did not want to leave us. But he was active from the beginning, and I can tell you, even in our office, he was the one who used to attend all the meetings. He attended almost. when he left, we had to organize for him a gift.
You are preparing to hand over the power, just and of course according to your record condition or recorded problems based on some secretaries. We have come to the end of the office. Why don't you just sack them in the beginning or 3 months from the joining of the office?
The problem was because we called them, because this was what we used to do. We asked them that you guys, we don't want to put any wrong thing on your name, because sacking someone is not good. We need also to be active. So I informed them, please come back, let us continue working. But nothing happens. Sabri Ayik is a good person, and because of due to some challenges in school, that's why he left. But he was a very active student as well. But because he left, and he was supposed to write a resignation letter. But instead of writing, he left the South. So.
Okay, let's move next to what are some of the critical challenges facing your students, of course, in the university, and what message can you send to the government for solution finding?
We have a lot of challenges facing Alexander students, not only Alexander students, and also Egypt as well. South Sudanese students in Egypt, number one is just finances is a very big challenge, which is really affecting students, because students have to go to work at night and then they will be able to go to the school.
Under a scholarship for private students?
Both of them. Under scholarship or private students, you need also accommodation. Accommodation is also another problem. And so it's directly proportional to life in South Sudan, because when life in South Sudan is also bad, that means also our life will also be bad, because our source of income is from South Sudan. If that one there is not there, so that means our students, they have to go to work at night or during day, and then during day they go to class. But the results also will be poor as well.
But couple of months ago, the Minister of General Education or Higher Education as well came to the country, and he visited your governorate first to sign the memorandum of understanding for the renewal of the scholarship agreement. So what went wrong here? There seems to be violation. What is the problem?
Yes, to make things clear, not only now Alexander students, but also in Egypt as a whole, Cairo and Shamis or Adwan, Zakazi, other universities as well, that the minister came, yes, in July. Delegation is led by the Vice President, Dr. James Waniga. He was with us. We even met with ministers, Minister of Higher Education and Minister of Foreign Affairs. South Sudan media also was part of us when we met them. And so, because our aim was to reduce the number of students coming in and to a specific number that can be fully funded by Egyptian government. But later on, the minister told us that the Egyptian government have accepted to be able to fund 300 students, fully funded. Little do we know that it was not a fully signed agreement. It was not implemented. And so it was agreed, but the MOU was not signed.
Right.
Up to now, it's not signed. And the minister is trying to come back to Egypt so that he can sign, so that our students are able to receive this monthly allowance, which is 1,000. That was promised. Up to now, they cannot be.
Okay, let's leave it there. Let's move to just a couple of months ago, I spoke to the president, the former president of Swiss University, rather, sir, and he mentioned about, I talked with him based on the formation of union, and the union seems to be down for quite a number of years. So he was very confident about the formation possibility. Now you remain in power, and of course you were deeply involved in the facilitation of this. Tell us which stage is now are you stopping?
Well, thank you so much for bringing this point about the union, because it's really very important. We have been down for 4 years now without a union, you see, and when we came into the office, we do our best so that we can call a meeting as different persons from these universities. We sat down and say, this year we need the union to be in place, and so we formed a committee.
Yes.
And went to embassy, and we had a meeting with the ambassador, Joseph Mum, and Karshaw Tachi was with us. We agreed, and they told us that you guys have to go and amend constitution first. After constitution, he bring to us, we will go through it. If it's now okay, then from there we can now tell you.
How far is the amendment of the constitution?
Yes, the constitution is now finished. Yes, it's now finished. It's now finished. It's already now in embassy. Ustaz Michael Matiang has already gone through it, and he told us now to translate it now to English. In the constitution, we have some very good points which I want to. In order for us to have a strong union, we need to introduce the issue of delegates. And this is the major point where we have here.
You're talking of the delegates, or is the delegate system going to be the democratic system of election, or just to be nominated from different universities instead of the candidates to move around all universities for campaign?
Yes, because we decided this because we have this issue of tribalism mindset. Well, I vote for you because you are my tribemate, or you are from my region. But because we did this so that we can minimize this, the election of 2018-19 was not the right thing to be done. But we tried this, that delegate system, 21 students from each university. This, we say that 3 students from each college. The college will be the one to sit down and then say, Mr. Mayor, you are the one who is capable to go and present us. Not the president who is going to choose. No. The college members are the one going to sit down and they select 2 to 3 people.
Yeah.
We're going to present them.
The number seems to be very big.
Yes.
One for each university.
Yes. Which allow 210 delegates, because we have 10 universities now. Other universities also join us, is now part of us. Then we say that other colleges or institutions which are for diploma, we said we shall give them only 11. 11 students.
For institutes.
Yes, because this one here will reduce expenses of candidates going to each university to be able to bear. And therefore, finances will be okay.
But how long would it take, Mr. President, to have the union finally formed? What time could we expect it to be done?
2 days ago, we talked with Karshaw Tachi, and Karshaw Tachi is going to give us appointment so that we go and meet with them. After that meeting, this were now we have now to see. But I can say that I believe, although I go down, I will be part of the committee that will follow up, because during our meeting we agree with ambassador. Ambassador say that any president or chairperson who has started this union, he will have to be part of the union until the union is functioning.
But Mr. Panaru Achilmathiang Sim is now out of the office, but he is not functioning in the union.
No, he is, because we have a group for all of us. the previous and the current. We have a group that work on this. So
conclusively, Mr. President, we are likely to come to the conclusion. So as we talk about all this, and of course it's a great opportunity to be with us tonight here. Tell us literally your concern, your message to the students, to South Sudanese community in Cairo or in Egypt in particular, and the government of South Sudan as well.
My message to you, my black students in Egypt and mainly in Alexandria, is that we are South Sudanese, and if we are South Sudanese, we have that heart of being together. Let us love unity instead of hatred, instead of division. We are one as South Sudanese. We are here, and by the time we go back to South Sudan, we shall be the one building that country. Take care of yourself very well, because your lives matters to us as South Sudan. And let us not sometimes blame us, we students, because we are part of you, and we are here fighting for you. Personally, the scholarship and my message to government of South Sudan is, I ask the kindly visit the agreement. Look into this agreement. The agreement, you can reduce it to a small number that can be fully funded by Egyptian government. This will be the best, instead of breaking 300 students that cannot be really managed by Egyptian government. We are here as South Sudan. We are really suffering financially. Finally, I just want also to appreciate my black executives for tremendous work you have really done. But throughout this 1 year, I've learned a lot from you, and you have learned from me as well. I really love you, and let us keep that love and unity that serve our fellow students. And my black student of Alexandria, we love you, and thank you for really choosing me last year to lead you and to serve you. God bless you, and God bless South Sudan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Time, of course, we give you a tremendous appreciation of visiting South Sudan Media today, and of course the President spoke about the reduction of high number of students to be funded or sent on scholarship to Egypt. I just heard, and this is his message to the government, and is focusing to students as well to have the unity and protection to the security concern. And now, of course, we continue as we come to the end of the program. Let's go to the recap of the news headlines again, and we begin on international news. And Russian President Vladimir Putin warned the West and its allies to think twice if they continue to support Ukraine militarily. And meanwhile, the government or the president, of course, addressed the nation on state television following the successful ballistic missile test last Tuesday. And could that be the beginning of the Third World War if this powerful nation on earth, Russia, instigate nuclear attack on NATO territories? And in South Sudan, at least 32,167 senior 4 candidates started the first paper examination of secondary education. Minister of General Education, Honorable Awundeng Achul, rang the bell on Tuesday morning in one of secondary school in Juba to mark the successful beginning of this examination. However, there is no recorded or reported leakage of national examination till now. Thank you so much for being with us, or stay tuned to South Sudan Media on live stream program. I'm your host Benjamin May, and stay tuned.